Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope you'd be fine. I'm here with a new video, new lesson. Today we are going to learn something about the volumes of different sort of figures. Let's begin our today's lesson. This is chapter number 14 of your book D1, Volume and Surface Area of Prisms and Cylinders. This is exercise 14B, basic level, page number 352, and here we have a set of 6 questions in question number 1. So we are going to deal with all these questions. I'm going to explain it to you one by one and step by step, so don't skip the video, watch it till the end, and yes, like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So let's begin our today's lesson. Let's start with a very basic knowledge. As you can see here, I have a quadrilateral, that is a parallelogram, two parallel sides at each opposite sides. And if I just make an identical rectangle, right, like this, right bottom of the above rectangular piece, I have made another rectangular piece, and then I'm joining the edges to make it a perfect cuboid. Now you can see this is a cuboid, right, students? So this is basically a prism where we have a cross section, some lateral faces, a base. This is a perfect prism. So I'll shade this one to make it easier for you to understand. This shaded part is the cross section, that is identical part of this base. This is base, right? And the identical piece of this base is called the cross section. That is, the length and breadth of this base are similar to this cross section. And these faces are the lateral faces, right? These are the 4 lateral faces. And then it's a quadrilateral prism because it has 4 sides in its base, right? So we have to focus on this base and the height, that is the lateral faces. These two are very important while finding out the volume of such prisms. How we can find out the volume of such faces, such prisms? We need to find out the area of the base, whatever the base is. Sometimes we'll have this sort of base, that is parallelogram base. Sometimes we'd have triangular bases. Sometimes we have cube or cuboid. Sometimes it could be pentagonal as well. Sometimes it could be hexagonal, and so on, right? It could be any shape. So first of all, we have to find out the area of the base in order to find out the volume of this prism. And if you'll find out the area of the base, then you can simply multiply this area with the height, that is the lateral face, in order to find out the volume. So you have to focus on these two things, area of the base and the height, in order to find out its volume. So let's begin with part A. Here we have a base of quadrilateral, that is it's a sort of trapezium where we have 2 parallel lines and 2 non-parallel ones, right? So this is the base, and then the height is 120 centimeter. So when we'll find out the area of this trapezium, we'll simply multiply it with 120 in order to find out the volume of this prism. So first we'll calculate the area of trapezium, which is the sum of the different sides, that is 75 plus 59, and we'll divide it with 2, and after this we'll simply multiply it with the height, which is 46 centimeter, right? And students, when we'll do this, we'll get the area of the trapezium, which is 3082 centimeters square, right? And after calculating this area, we'll simply multiply it with the height of the prism in order to find out the total volume of the prism. Because this was our base, so we have to find out the area of the respective base. Students, we have to identify our base, that what is the exact shape of our base. Here we had a trapezium, but in other figures we'll have different sort of bases. Sometimes we'll have triangular bases, so we'll find out the area of a triangle. We have to apply the formulas of the given bases, right? You have to focus on the base, that what is the figure in the given base. Sometimes it would be a quadrilateral and sometimes it would be some other, like we have a trapezium this time. So we found out the area of a trapezium, and the formula of a trapezium is to simply divide the sum of different lengths of the parallel lines, right? The opposite parallel lines, and then multiply it with the height. Here we had the height 46 centimeters that was given. So we just multiplied these two to find out the area. And after finding out the area, we know that the volume of prism is base area into height. So we'll simply multiply this base with the given height, which is 120 centimeter. And after multiplying these two, we have a product of 369,840 centimeter cube. You have to focus on the units also. We have a square unit while finding out the area, but we have a cube in the units of volume. Now let's move to part B. This time we have a different sort of a base. As you can see here, we have a pentagon, 5 literal sides, 5 different sides. So the question is how we are going to find out the area of this base this time. It's very simple, students. All you need to do is to make it a complete rectangle. If I just make a dotted line over here, I'll have a complete rectangle. And finding out the area of a rectangle is very easy. I simply need to multiply the length into breadth in order to find out the area of a rectangle. And the remaining figure that I have drawn myself, I'll simply find out the length and breadth of this triangle, and then I'll subtract the area of this triangle from the total area of the rectangle to find out the actual area of this figure. Let's see how we are going to do this. First, I'm going to find out the area of the rectangle, that is the complete figure, which is length into breadth. And I know the length here is 18 centimeter and the breadth is 28 centimeter. So I'm going to multiply these two together. The area of this rectangle is 504 centimeters square. But we need to find out the area of some different figure from this rectangle. So we are going to subtract the area of triangle. For that, we have to find out the area of triangle first. That is this shaded part. And I know the length of this rectangle is 18 centimeter. And if I subtract this 7 centimeter from this length, I'll find out the length of this triangle. So it would be 18 minus 7, that is 11 centimeter. And the altitude of this triangle would be 28 centimeters, because this breadth of this rectangle is 28 centimeter. So I'm going to subtract this 16 from 28 in order to find out the altitude of this triangle, which is 12 centimeter. So I have now both the lengths, that is the length of this triangle and then this altitude of this triangle. And we know the area of triangle is half into base into height. We have a base of 11 centimeter and the height of 12 centimeter. That is the altitude of this triangle. So we have the area of a triangle as 66 centimeter square. So students, we have found out the area of rectangle and the inclusive of triangle. We have both these areas, the area of this rectangle, the total figure, and the area of this triangle, that is the shaded part. Now what we need to do, because we do not need this area of rectangle, our figure is this one, that is the exclusive of this triangle. So we simply subtract area of triangle from the area of rectangle in order to find out this area of the figure. So we can say that the area of our base is 504 minus 66, that is 438 centimeters square. And now the next step is to multiply this area with the given height of our. So we have a height of 38 centimeters as you can see in this figure. So we'll simply multiply the area of the base with the given height, that is 38, to find out the volume of this prism, which is 16,644 centimeter cube. So students, you see how easy it is. You just need to figure out that how we are going to calculate the given area, right? You need to find out the way how to take out the area of a given base. Now we'll move to part C. Here we have a totally different sort of figure with a base of this sort of shape. As you can see over here, students, this shape is our base, and then we have a lateral face of 10 centimeters each, and the base is no definite figure. So students, we have this figure, and you simply see that we can complete this rectangle. If I just shade this part and make a dotted line over here, we have a complete rectangle. And the remaining part, which is not needed in the area, because this is the empty part in our given base. So we are going to subtract the area of this rectangle from the area of this total rectangle in order to find out the area of this base. Right, students? So let's start. First, we are going to find out the area of this big rectangle, right? This bigger one, where we have a length of 9 centimeter and the breadth of 16 centimeter. So the area of this rectangle 1 is 144 centimeter square. And now we have to find out area of rectangle number 2, that is a smaller one. And here we have a length of 6 centimeter, which is given. But what is the breadth of this rectangle? So students, if you see the length of this bigger one, is 16 centimeter. And here we have a split of 5 centimeter and 3 centimeters. The sum is 8 centimeter. So if we subtract this 8 centimeter from 16 centimeter, we get 8 centimeter. So we come to know that this wall of 16 centimeter is made up by 5 plus 8 plus 3, that is 16 centimeter. So the breadth of this smaller rectangle is 8 centimeters. So we are going to multiply 6 into 8 in order to find out the area of this rectangle. Now we have both the areas of rectangle 1 and rectangle 2. We'll simply subtract this 48 from 144 centimeter in order to find out the area of this base, because this is not needed. So the area of base is 96 centimeters square. Now we'll simply multiply this base area with the height of the prism given in order to find out its volume. We have a height here of 10 centimeter. So the volume of the prism would be 960 centimeter cube. See students, how easy it was to calculate the volume of this prism by simply finding out two areas of the rectangles and subtracting one from another. So we got the area of the base, the desired base, and then we simply multiply it with the height to find out the volume. Now part D. Here again we have a trapezium, students. You can see this is a trapezium where we have two parallel lines and two opposite lines which are not non-parallel ones. So this is a trapezium, and the cross section is at the back side. We have to find out the area of this base by finding the area of a trapezium, and then we have a height of 12 centimeter. We'll multiply these two to find out the area of this prism. We know that students, the area of trapezium is the sum of the parallel lines divided by 2. That is half of the sum of parallel lines, which is 18 and 14. So we are going to find out the half of their sum multiplied to its altitude, that is 16. sorry, 6 centimeter. So the area of the base 96 centimeter square. Right, students? And then we have a height of 12 centimeter. So we'll simply multiply this 96 to 12 centimeters. And the volume of the given prism is 1152, that is 1152 centimeters cube. So simple. You see, area of trapezium multiplied with the height, the volume of prism. And now part E. Here we have a different sort of base where we have 5 sides, that is it's a pentagonal base, and then a height of 5 centimeters, right? So first we are going to find out the area of this pentagon. Let's see how to find it. We have this pentagon, students. So to solve this pentagon, we simply split it into two figures. Now we have a rectangle and a triangle. We'll simply find out the areas of these two figures separately and then add up their areas in order to find out the area of our total base. We have length of 13 centimeter in this rectangle and the breadth of 10 centimeters. So it's simple to find out the area of this rectangle. Now come to this triangle. We know that the area of a triangle is half into base into altitude. So we have a base of 6 centimeters and an altitude of 8 centimeters because this is a perpendicular. So this is, we have all the figures provided over here, right? All the values are provided. So it's simple to simply put it into the formula and find out the areas. The area of the rectangle is 130 centimeters square and the area of this triangle is 24 centimeters squares. Now we are going to add up these two in order to find out the total area of this base. Here we have the area of the given base, that is 154 centimeters square. And now it's time to find out the complete volume of the given figure. Because we have a height of 5 centimeters, so we have a volume of 7 centimeters cube. This is the volume of the given prism. And now we have a part F. Again, we have a different sort of base where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we have a pentagon. So we have to find out the area of this base first. And then we have a height of 35 centimeters for this prism. So let's see how to solve this sort of question. We have this figure, students. Here we have two sides that are not part of this triangle. But if we just make a dotted line over here, now we can split this base into two figures. A rectangle, because these two sides are equal to each other. Again, these two lines are equal to each other. So we have a perfect rectangle. And below this dotted line, we have a perfect triangle. So if we find out the area of this triangle and the area of this rectangle separately, we can simply add up their sums in order to find out the area of this base, like we did in part E. In the given figure, we have this rectangle with the length of 18 centimeter and breadth of 3 centimeters. So the area is 54 centimeters square. And for the given triangle, below this dotted line, we have an altitude of 12 centimeter minus 3 centimeter because this altitude is exceeding this triangle, students. So we have to subtract 3 from this 12. So we have an altitude of 9 centimeters and the base of 18 centimeters, right? So the area of this triangle is 81 centimeters square. See, students? Now we have both the area of this rectangle, that is above the dotted line, and the area of triangle, that is below the dotted line. We'll simply add up these two areas to find out the area of base. So the area of this given base is equals to 135 centimeters square. Now after finding out the area of the given base, we'll simply multiply it with the height, that is 35 centimeters, to find out the area, volume of the prism. Here you go, the volume of this prism is 4725 centimeters cube. So you see, students, you just need to find out that what is our base and how to calculate the area of the given base. And it's simple. You just need to focus that what is the figure that I can draw, or I can subtract, or I can split in order to find out the base. Sometimes you have to find out areas of two rectangles, and you have to subtract the smaller one from the bigger one to find out the area of desired base. Sometimes the figure will be split into this rectangle and a triangle that we have done in two of these sums over here. Sometimes you would have a trapezium, so you'll have to find out the area of the trapezium. So you just need to figure out that what figure you have been provided with in order to find out the area of the base. And after you'll get the area of the given base, it's very simple to find out the volume of the prism, because you need to multiply it with the height to find out its volume. I hope, students, it's very much clear to you. Still, if you have any sort of questions, you can ask me in the comment section. Please like the video. Thanks for watching the video till the end. Take care. Until the next video. Allah Hafiz.